All right, folks, it's that time of the week again where we answer your comments on the channel. If you're new to the channel, you clicked on this video, but you don't really know what this channel is about, what we're doing here, this is a weekly video that we do primarily for our regular viewers and the people who have commented on our videos over the last week. So if that doesn't sound like something you're interested in, totally understand if you click off the video right now. So we're just going to dive in here. First up is our suggestions from this past week. M. Jackson suggests that we react to Far From Any Road by Adam Chance, Adam Rupp, and Mercy Bell. Okay, I will put that on the list. Audio only so far. It is really interesting. Okay. I wonder if they're going to get a video out on that. I'll definitely put that on the list, or at least the watch list, to see if they come out with a video of that. Dagmar S., one of our regular viewers, says, enjoy the weekly chat. Would you consider doing some of the older songs by Home Free that are not reacted to very often? Some of my favorites are What We Ain't Got. I like the sound of that. Stop, Drop, and Roll, American Kids, Crazy Life, Meant to Be, Good Old Country Harmony, and Soul. Thanks. Dagmar, yeah, I want to get through all of Home Free's catalog. With some of the lesser known songs, though, I may kind of save them toward the end of the run after we kind of get through the hits and get the channel built up a little bit more. But yeah, I definitely plan to get to those. Rebecca Gibbs says, Home Free live cover of Sam Sham and the Pharaoh's Little Red Riding Hood. Oh my goodness, that is literally one of my top 10 favorite songs of all time. Has been since I was a kid. Love that song. I've got to check that out ASAP, even if it's not popular. I just got to do it. Country Fried Pop medley is fun. Andy Grammer cover, Honey I'm Good. Okay, Ed Sheeran cover by Home Free, Castle on the Hill. And John Mayer's In the Blood, Anything You React To will be great. All right, there's a lot of those I'd not heard of yet. I'll check the video counts. I'm kind of prioritizing ones that either have a high video count or are frequently requested and suggested on the channel. And our patrons are actually choosing which ones, but I'm using the YouTube suggestions and some of the play counts to populate the polls on Patreon. M. Jackson says, M. Jackson again, appreciate the comments, M. The guys did a song with Rachel Womack 3 years ago, Tennessee Christmas. Okay. Kath says, always great reaction from you. Thanks, Kath. I appreciate that. I enjoy your feedback on songs. You should check out Hound the Fox featuring Adam Chance singing Sound of Silence and The Whistling Lad. We actually did Sound of Silence. It should be up. I don't think we had to take that down for any reason. And I have... Whistling Lad has been suggested, and I plan on putting that on a Patreon poll in the future. Eric Potter, another regular viewer, suggests Home Free and Maggie Bow maybe, did a spectacular version of Dolly Parton's From Here to the Moon and Back. Okay, I'll put that on the list. Please keep up the weekly comments, reviews. I enjoy them a lot, and I'll listen to the end. You have a blessed day. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've mentioned the last couple of videos that most people just watch like 4 minutes. Like last week, I think was maybe under 4 minutes. The average watch these videos, some of these videos are like 34 minutes long. So all those who stay to the end, you are in an elite club. One of our regular viewers named it the EOV Club. So if you're in the EOV Club, in the video club, you are in an elite group. Leslie O'Neill says, if you like the sound of Home Free with a female singer, try listening to Meant to Be with Lisa Cimarelli. It's great. Okay, I had not heard of that one. I'll put that on the list. Kyle Graves says, Kyle Graves, our consulting producer, on Ray LaMontagne, says, we'll make it through. Gotcha, Kyle. And hey, Kyle, if you will come over and appear on camera like you said you were going to like 7 months ago, we can go through this together. You can show it to me, introduce it. But producers, what do you say? What do you say? All right, on our comments video last week, Kevin, another great viewer of the channel, says, I can't wait to see those reactions. Some girls do, and I gotta save a few pennies to get on your Patreon. Things are kind of tough for me right now. Totally understand, Kevin. Thanks, Cole. You and your missus have a super Friday and weekend. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. You too. Annette Corrado, another one of our great viewers and also one of our patrons. Thanks again for your fireside chat. Thanks for watching, Annette. Appreciate you as always. Pamela Goodman says, Austin has many solos on his YouTube channel, many covers from many genres, and at least 6 of his originals. Yeah, I really want to get into the solo home free stuff. Austin in particular. I love all the guys, but I feel like Austin was really my hook into home free. Once I heard him do the lead to Listen to the Music, that was the second home free song that I listened to. I was hooked, so I definitely got to get into some more Austin solo material. Karina Rodebach, another great viewer of the channel, said, I made it the whole way this time too. Thanks, Karina. I appreciate that. What I meant to say about Jeff guitar playing was he said he tried to learn but hadn't succeeded. Obviously, he knows some chords. Got you. Yeah, I got you. Carol Burnett, another great viewer of the channel, says, thanks, Cole. I did stay through the end. Thank you, EOV Club. I appreciate that. Also, Elizabeth Ross and Ellen Reiser both stayed through the whole video. Thank y'all so much for that. On the home free Delta Dawn cover, Grace Parker, another regular viewer of the channel, says, Cole, you love westerns but don't prefer country music. Darn, man, that's almost an oxymoron, but I hear you. Let me clarify. I like old westerns and old country music. Some of the new westerns, not a big fan of. Some of the more modern country stuff, not a big fan of. So I get it's a little bit more coherent than it seems on the surface. Grace, LOL, love your reactions though. Thank you, Grace. I appreciate that. Won't stop watching whether you like country or not. No, they actually teamed up with Maggie Bowerball for the song From Here to the Moon and Back. So put that on your list. It's quite something. Excellent. That's 2 suggestions on that one. So that's gonna put it up to go on a future Patreon poll, put it a higher priority to go on the Patreon poll. Jillian Drysdale, Jillian, another great viewer of the channel, says, country isn't really my thing either, but I love home free. Same way. As a matter of fact, I just got through shooting a home free reaction to Some Girls Do yesterday, and spoiler alert, in that reaction, I say I'm not a huge modern country fan, but the more I listen to home free, the more I'm becoming one. So I'm right there. I know they had a female vocalist in To the Moon and Back, which is a beautiful rendition. Yep, they're excellent. That's 3 suggestions there. Beth Good said, I like old-time country and don't usually like a cappella. Interesting, but home free can carry both just by their harmonies. Absolutely. Their faithfulness to the music and all their hard work. I just love them so much. They did great with this song, and I didn't like it very much before hearing their rendition. I like it now, though. Great reaction. Don't let those who feel differently than you get to you. Our differences are what make the world an interesting place. Yeah, totally agree. And that's the way I approach it, but it's funny in the comments, like I'll just make a comment. That's the reason that our quote unquote disclaimer at the beginning says no differing opinions were hurt in the making of this reaction video, because it's like I've got different opinions. If you got different opinions, that's fine, but it kind of blows my mind when people just get so mad because somebody doesn't agree with them about, particularly with something like this. I mean, this is a fairly innocuous channel. We're just talking music here, but anyway, it's been an interesting experience with the negative comments on here. David Toons, also one of our regular viewers, says the structure in this song is also pervasive in Southern gospel with that walking bass and high sailing tenor harmony. 100%. I'm actually way more familiar with Southern gospel than I am with some of the country stuff. Baby Fry, another regular viewer of the channel, says, I'm with you, Cole. I'm not a huge country fan either, but home free does it for me. I think it's their amazing harmonies. Brooke has a great voice. I only heard she was on American Idol about 10 years ago. Wow, okay. I may have seen her then. I don't know anything else about her. Loved Tim's lows and Austin's highs. Loved Adam's beatboxing. Loved them as Cowboys too. Yeah, it was a great video. I love the rendition of the song. And again, that particular song was a little bit, the 70s, a little bit outside where I'm more of the 50s and 60s classic country western stuff, but really great songwriting. I love their version of that. AA says, whoa, I'm stunned. I like this. I think this is actually better than my fave, Tanya Tucker. Forgive me, Tanya. I still love you. It was really good. I actually personally preferred this to the original version. Lynn Ramsey says, great reaction. This is pure classic country perfection. They sound so amazing together. This song was first released in 1971 by Bette Midler. I don't believe I ever knew that. Then released it again in 1972 by Tanya Tucker. Okay, that's the version that I know. And made it to the top 10 of the country charts. Then released again in 1973 by Helen Reddy. made its #1 in the U.S. charts. Fun fact, that poncho that Austin's wearing was worn by Clint Eastwood in some of the Western movies. That's the actual poncho? Because I mentioned that. I think I said something about that in the video. It may have gotten cut and edited now. I don't know. But I mentioned that about that being about the Clint Eastwood ponchos. I love Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I love it. I have yet to sit down and watch the other two from the Dollars trilogy. I don't know. I think it was because the only opportunities I really had to watch them when I was a kid, I came in the middle of the movie and I was like, no, I don't want to start in the middle. I need to watch from the beginning. But Good, Bad, and the Ugly, phenomenal film. Love Clint Eastwood. Yeah, if that's, let me know. Somebody let me know if that's the poncho or he just had like a replica of it. Never let me down with harmonies and instrumental backups. And those last few bars, your reaction said it all. Absolutely. Appreciate that comment, Lynn. Grim Grinning Tracy, love that username, says, I totally understand what you are saying in preferring some decade sounds versus others. Every one of us do in some way. I grew up with many different families listening to their faves from big band, country, folk, jazz, 70s rock, and pop. So I don't even pay attention to genre. If I like a song, that's all that matters. True music folks will always appreciate what is created and the heart that musicians put into their music without it being something we enjoy ourselves. It's like food. You don't get mad at someone that hates broccoli when you love it. It's nothing personal about It's nothing personal about the floor. Yeah, 100%. A great comment. I agree with that completely. On our Moana VoicePlay video, Shirley Carr, another regular viewer of the channel, says, you can date VoicePlay videos by Jeff's hair and the personnel lineup. Tony has gone behind the camera instead of singing 2016, but Jay Nunn hasn't joined them yet 2018. This transition phase of Jeff's hair indicates it's the year he became a dad, 2017, and had new priorities and demands on his time. I did have to look up Decapod. Gotcha. Yeah, okay, appreciate that. Now I got the timeline of where that video was because I had not seen one from VoicePlay from that era. Patricia Schumann says they always show who did the arrangement in the credits. With shared credit or additional credit, says when Lane has done the arrangement, he will be credited, but anyone else has added to it when Jeff has contributed to the arrangement or added lyrics, etc. I do like this immensely, but The Little Mermaid tops it for me in terms of humor, theatricality, and telling the whole story. Plus, I have a bit of a crush on Blue Jeff, a.k.a. Jeffsula. Jeff, combined with Ursula. LOL. I appreciate that, Patricia. And yeah, I don't know. I've never noticed it in the video credits that there's been rolling credits, but I do know it's in the description. I usually ask in the video to encourage the fans to let me know so we can keep some of these conversations going. But I've had so many people say, well, you can just look in the credits, that what I did when I filmed the VoicePlay reaction yesterday is I made my guess on camera and then looked and see if I was right and did that on camera. So I think that's what I'm going to do moving forward with VoicePlay stuff, although it may take a couple of weeks for that to show on the YouTube releases. Eric Turner says, hair-wise, I think the turning point for Jeff was their cover of Shape of You / No Diggity with Matthew Darren. His hair was a contributing factor, I think. Okay, I have not seen those. DTA, regular viewer of the channel, says, this is probably my favorite of their medleys. I actually like it better than Little Mermaid. Interesting. That one is lovely, but a little bit too over the top for my taste. This one keeps things simple and takes itself just seriously enough while still being plenty lighthearted and goofy. Thanks for your reaction. Thank you, DTA, for watching. I appreciate it. Jill Peterson says you can always tell about when they made their songs by Jeff's hair. It's funny when people have a hard time finding Jeff with his short hair. I know because I did too, so I can sympathize. Yeah, 100%. Caitlin Cavanaugh says, I did love the movie and the songs from the movie, but I agree on Jeff's part. On Jeff's part is better. Enjoy the reaction. Appreciate it, Caitlin. Holdra Draco says, I'm barely catching half of what you're saying when you're talking during the music playing, sadly. Yeah, Holdra, I know it's hard to do. I try to get the balance with the video sound and my talking, you being able to hear what I'm talking. Legally, I've gone over this before in videos. The video is supposed to be about the commentary, so I try to pull the video down, but I remember on one of our very first VoicePlay, I had some technical issues with the sound. I ended up getting the video where I thought it was a good level that you could hear me talking, and I got just so much hate. I say so much hate in comments, more than we normally get on the channel, saying the video is way too low. We're trying to hear the video, which if you want to hear the video, you need to go watch the video. That's not what reaction video is supposed to be. But yeah, I'll try to see if we can get a little bit better balance there. We've also got a new editor who's doing the sound, and I haven't been running really tight quality control on all the videos, so I'll double check the sound balance on the voice and music moving forward. So I appreciate you letting me know that you're having issues with that, Holdra. Shirley Carr says, I agree, Cole. If your comment is more than a syllable or two, please save it until you pause. Then we benefit from your insight and hear what you're discussing. Yeah, I got to talk at least a little bit over the video, Shirley, because, again, the copyright, the fair use, there's got to be a decent amount of commentary, and the less that I talk over the video, the harder it is to argue fair use, and the more likely it might be in the future for the video to get taken down. Veronica Thunder, another great viewer of the channel, says, this is excellent. It's Lane's arrangement too, as is Little Mermaid. The Wicked medley was Jeff's, though. Perhaps that's the one you're thinking of. I actually haven't done the Wicked medley, so that wasn't it. They haven't done medleys in a while. I think The Greatest Showman was their latest medley. I don't remember if you've done that one. I have not done that one either. It's also with Rachel, also excellent. Great. I will definitely check that one out. BJ Speck, another great viewer of the channel, says, have you done these with Rachel? I'm sure you've done Wicked. I have not done Wicked. That looks like that's going to have to go on the next poll. Little Mermaid and maybe Greatest Showman, but Attention, Chandelier, I Knew You Were Trouble, Phantom of the Opera before Tony Left produced it. I've done Phantom of the Opera. It's one of my favorites, probably my favorite voice play, period, so far. And yeah, absolutely excellent. Love hearing Rachel. Alona Dever, another great viewer of the channel, says, if I were putting their medleys on an old Sears catalog scale, Moana would be good, Little Mermaid would be better, and Wicked would be best. Gotcha. Yeah, I got to do the Wicked, obviously. That's come up multiple times here. All right, so my computer just overheated and had all kind of technical difficulties here. It's getting that time of year here in Mississippi. It's like 84 right now. It's a little before noon. And I don't know what it is with the humidity, but it feels sweltering. Anyway, so I've moved location here, and we're going to keep on trucking. And this was Wildcat 101, great viewer of the channel. I already read this comment, but the camera cut off. I'm going to reread it. I agree with you about liking Little Mermaid a little better, but I'm partial to Alan Menken. They do a terrific job with any medley, though. Smooth transitions, absolutely. Wyla said this is actually a Lane arrangement along with Hannah Giuliano. She seems to often help out when they have a female guest singer. VP is very good about putting the info in the song's description section. I kind of get a kick in this one regarding Jeff's little impersonation of the surfer dude accent at times. Not at all the way I would normally think of him. Snicker, yeah, absolutely. Jan Turner says, it is always amazing to watch this. Every time I learn something new. Listen to Ellie as he matches Rachel when she has the lead. She is always impressive with her easy run-ups to top, and then you realize Ellie is backing her. No matter how many times I listen, I appreciate your reactions for pointing out what I haven't seen. Thank you, Jan. I appreciate that. On our Ray LaMontagne video, B-Dubs, one of our absolute favorites on the channel, one of our patrons, says, by way of pure luck, I stumbled across Ray back in 05 while flipping through the channels and coming across Austin City Limits. He was promoting his debut album, Trouble. I went right out and bought it to find it was all killer, no filler. Excellent. He has continued to put out solid album after solid album, one of the most compelling voices I've ever heard. I believe everything he says. He is an old soul and writes with the wisdom, patience, and mileage of someone who's lived 3 lifetimes, yet can deliver a love song with the passion of a teenager. He has captured a way to convey vulnerability without showing an ounce of weakness. Seemingly from the start, he was penning songs that were gritty and sincere, delivered both tenderly and fiery with a raspy tenor that comes from the gut. He has become masterful at mixing genres, folk, rock, blues, country, soul, pop, while creating interesting arrangements and performed by talented and tasteful musicians. Maybe the best songwriter of the last 30 years. Time will tell, but I rank the quality and integrity of his music with Springsteen, Fogerty, Neil Young, Jackson Browne, Paul Simon. This message brought to you by the people for Ray LaMontagne. Great comment, B-Dubs. That was excellent information. Yeah, everything I've heard from Ray LaMontagne is incredible. I do know the title track, Trouble, off of that record you were talking about. Our producer, Kyle, loves Ray LaMontagne. My wife loves Ray LaMontagne, and I'm definitely going to have to do it. I'd love to do, if we got enough interest, I would love to do some full album reactions on Ray. Pam Forrester, Pam, another one of our favorites on this channel, says, this is totally new to me, artist and song. Another reason to love this channel. Thank you, Pam. Always fresh. Going to give it another listen. I'm tone deaf, I guess, and couldn't carry a tune in a bucket, but for some reason I get vibes of something the Four Seasons would have done. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and take a listen to that too, but right off when I remember, I think you're right on that, because I filmed that reaction like 5 weeks ago or whatever. That's high praise for them. Love this. Yeah. Our producer Kyle, commenting once again, says, also, let's call it a post-chorus. Thanks, Kyle. And B-Dubs replied to Kyle and says, hey, I recognize that name. Thanks for all you do. Excellent, excellent. On our Bruce Springsteen reaction, Elizabeth Ross says, and this was actually Roy Orbison and Bruce Springsteen. Elizabeth Ross, one of our regular viewers, says, life's demands on my time during the 80s and 90s made it impossible to keep up with popular music and artists. So when you showcase something wonderful like this, it's probably the first time I'm experiencing. Excellent. I'm glad to hear that, Elizabeth. Of course, everyone knew and knows who Roy and Bruce are, but this concert is brand new for me. Thank you for keeping these talents alive. Your knowledge of music and the industry are always enlightening. It's like a second chance to see what I missed. Thank you so much for that comment, Elizabeth. It's been one of my favorite comments that we've had on this channel. Really appreciate that. B-Dubs once again says, I dare say Roy probably had more fun this last 10 years in the business than his first 10, especially since he had counted himself as washed up. 100%. Not having a song break the Hot 100 since 1967. Here's Roy's resurgence. 1980, Don McLean's cover of Crying. I need to go listen to that. I don't think I've heard that. Reaches number 5. 1981, appearance on the Dukes of Hazzard. Number 2 in Nielsen ratings that year. Roy's duet with Emmylou Harris, That Lovin' You Feelin' Again, is featured in the film Roadie and wins a Grammy. 1982, Van Halen's cover of Oh Pretty Woman reaches number 12. 1986, Roy's song In Dreams is featured extensively in David Lynch's film Blue Velvet. Yep. New song, Life Fades Away, is featured in the film Lesson Zero. That one I don't think I know. Roy's duet with Katie Lang of Crying is featured in the film Hiding Out, also posthumous Grammy. Roy's inducted into the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame. Roy's inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame by Bruce Springsteen. Filmed live performance of Roy Orbison and Friends, A Black and White Night. October 88 release of Traveling Wilburys Volume 1. Album reaches number 3. Also posthumous Grammy. November 88 completes recording of last album, Mystery Girl. December 88, Roy passes away. January 89, Mystery Girl's release. You Got It reaches the top 10 in 15 countries. Excellent breakdown, B-Dubs. Yeah, it's just amazing. Absolutely amazing what he was able to accomplish in his quote-unquote washed-up phase. Incredible. Pam Forrester, Pam once again says, amazing. I agree about Bruce feeding off Roy. I see mutual respect and admiration here. Bruce at times seems aloof, but not here. He's like a guy that's totally at home and comfortable. Not seen this before. I've been missing out, apparently. They are truly magical together. Would love to see more. As always, thank you. Thank you, Pam. Appreciate that. And Steve308 says, watch this as a kid. Was the only 18-year-old with a VHS recording of Roy Orbison, but mostly so I could watch Bruce. Bruce was just in raptures and all at that stage. Yeah, 100%. All right, well, that's going to close us out. Guys, I'm not sure what the timestamp is on there because I'm going to have 2 different videos I got to splice together here, but if you made it to the end of the video, you are in the EOV club, and you are very special and loved beyond measure, and we appreciate all the support so much. We got a home free coming at you tomorrow. We got a VoicePlay Monday, some other stuff coming up next week. Stay tuned to the channel, and we'll see you soon.